Good afternoon and welcome to the Nebraska Tourism Commission's January 2016 Industry Update webinar. Thank you for joining us today. As we go throughout the presentation, as usual, you can let us know that you're listening and email us your questions to the address on the screen, which is jenngjerde@nebraska.gov. That's JENNGJERDE@nebraska.gov. And she will provide those questions to me at the end of the webinar, and we will try to do our best to answer them for you. All right, well, we have lots of fun news to share with you today. First of all, our annual report is now available online. It's a great summary of everything that went on in 2015 at the Tourism Commission, all of the activities, the accomplishments, things that you may want to read about or share with other people in your communities. Again, you can find that report online at our website, and there's a link for that right there. Or if you have trouble finding it, feel free to let us know and we can email it to you also. Please do note that if you have seen or have one of the printed copies, there was an error we found after printing in the financial report that has been corrected in the online version, so we'd prefer, of course, that you use the corrected online version. If you have any questions about that, you can let me know, but again, the online version is correct. And just to update on some information that was in that, we talk about the lodging tax dollars in that financial report. So I have some updated numbers right here for you on the lodging tax. Through November, we've collected over $4 million, almost $5 million in state lodging tax. This is the highest amount ever collected in a year, and it's a 7.2% change over the amount of lodging tax collected through the end of November 2014. So as we've kind of shared with the public, we are on track for a record year with lodging tax. The previous high total for a year was in 2014, and we've already surpassed that, as you can see. The last month of lodging tax data for December will be remitted and calculated and shared sometime in mid-February. If you have any questions about how the lodging tax is collected, feel free to send that to Jen, and we can send you an explanation of that via email after the webinar. The annual report is also available online now. Oh, sorry, that's the same thing we just did, sorry. The 2016 Spring Summer Travel Guide is available online right now, or you can order a paper copy by going to the website address listed there. At that site, you can get the online copy and the digital version, or you can also order individual copies of the guide. If you're looking for bulk orders of the guide for some reason, for a local hotel or whatever it might be that wants to share them, you'll want to email us directly with that request, and we can get a bulk order sent out to you. But if you just need an individual guide or two, you can go on the website and order those. The second week of January, when those came out, we distributed 45,000 travel guides to the visitor centers across the state and to some of the CVBs across the state. So there should be some in your local area already, and if you don't know where those are, we can direct you to where you can pick some of those up if you need a box of them. Otherwise, like I said, we can send them out to you if we need to also. And several thousand travel guides were also distributed at the National Western Stock Show in Denver that just ended this last week, along with community-focused brochures that were brought by volunteers. And we'll talk a little bit more about the stock show here in a minute. But more than 1,000 individual travel guides have already been requested and fulfilled online since we got the new guides on January 12th. So we're off to a really good start in distributing those magazines. Of course, we try to get them out in people's hands as quickly as we can so that they can start planning their spring-summer travels in Nebraska. Here's just a couple questions that we've got as soon as the travel guides were put out. We have got a few questions about the listings that I want to go over. So one of the questions we've gotten is, my destination is not in the listing section. Can I get it added to the fall winter guide? And the answer to that is that destinations that were claimed on visitnebraska.com by August 30th, which was our deadline that we had publicized to the industry, are included in the 2016 Spring Summer Travel Guide, and will be included again in the 2016 Fall Winter Travel Guides, but we are not able to add any new listings until the 2017 guides come out. So in the meantime, what we ask that you do is go under our website and go ahead and populate and claim your listing so that all the information is there and online for people to access directly there. And it's correct, so that when we do pull that information from the database on the website for the 2017 guide, we will then have your information to include then. So in the meantime, go on the website and claim your listing and make sure it's populated and correct on there. If you have any questions on how to do that, you can send Jen an email on that also, and she can give you directions. It's really pretty simple, and that's the best way to get your information out there to hundreds of thousands of people, so for free. Another question we've gotten is, there's been a few people that have called and said, okay, my listing is incorrect in some way. For example, the phone number is wrong, or the website is wrong. So in those cases, if there's something blatantly wrong with your listing, and there, for example, an incorrect phone number or website, then we can fix that before the fall winter guide is printed if you just let us know immediately. There is going to be a deadline of that, I believe, at the end of February, so we would need to get those from you as soon as possible if something is incorrect. Okay, 2016 Nebraska Passport Program will be coming up here before we know it, when winter is over and the summertime is approaching. So the planning is underway, and applicants will be notified in late February whether or not they were selected. The program will be announced to the public leading up to the launch on May 2nd. So we always do kind of a pre-announcement of where the stops are so that people can start their planning, and just to get people's interest peaked in the program. They start requesting passports early. Last year we had hundreds and hundreds of passports that were sent out right before May 1st, so they arrived to people on May 1st so they could continue or get started on the program immediately, and we'll be doing that again this year. So if you want to make sure you get one immediately on May 1st, May 2nd, then go ahead and email us at info@nebraskapassport.com with your name, mailing address, and the number of booklets you would like to request, and we will get you on that list. Questions on the passport program. That program is run this year by Amanda Barker in our office. So if you have specific questions just about passport, I would suggest you email Amanda directly, and she can help you with those. All right, another program that Amanda in our office runs is the Nebraska Tourism Cares program. Amanda and Lisa are working on that program, and we're excited to announce that we've selected the first two recipients for the 2016 service projects that we'll be doing for Nebraska Tourism Cares. And one of them is for the restoration of the historic Fort, I always have to think about how to say this, Rubidoux, I believe I'm saying that correctly, trading post in Gering. So the volunteers will be helping restore a part of that building where it's called chinking, I'm told, and it is basically the glue that kind of holds the walls together of the building, which is crumbling and needs replacing with a better product that's more historically sound and approved. So that's the first project that will be taking place, and that'll be taking place during National Tourism Week on May 6th and 7th, and that's a Friday and Saturday. More information will be coming out on how you can volunteer if you would like to be a part of helping with that project later, but we just want to kind of give you an idea of what's going to be done and when. So that's the first one. The second one is Cowboy Trail Cleanup in Shadron, Nebraska. Volunteers will be there to clear old railway ties and build bridges, other things, clean up around the area in order to help prepare the trail the first 5 miles east of Shadron for further development. So once finished, the Cowboy Trail will be the longest rails to trails system in the country, and this service opportunity will take place sometime in June. The dates are yet to be announced on that one. Applications are still being accepted for the final two service projects, and they're available on our website, and there's the address for that. Those are due by June 30th. If you have any questions on that program, again, please email Amanda Barker. Or feel free to call our office and you'll be directed to her also. Okay, 2016 Nebraska Tourism Commission grant programs update. I know a lot of you are excited to hear more about this, and as you know, we did change some deadlines a little bit and push them back, but the programs are still happening. So here are the dates for those upcoming programs. The Community Impact Grant timelines, the applications and the guidelines will become available on February 18th. The deadline to submit those will be April 8th, and they will be announced on April 20th. So again, that's basically the same program, it's just the deadlines are tightened up a little bit more. Tourism marketing grant timeline. March 1st will be when those applications and guidelines are available. May 2nd will be the deadline to submit applications, and on the 18th the grants will be awarded. So when guidelines become available for those grant programs, we share those with the industry via our email newsletter or email listserv called NebTour. If you are not, for some reason, a part of NebTour already, and I'm guessing you probably are if you know about this webinar, but if you are not, or if there's someone in your office who's not receiving NebTour, or someone in your area who you want to make sure gets on the NebTour list, please let Heather know. Heather Hogue at our office can get them added to the list, and then they will receive the information about the grants as it comes out. All right, we have some news on the Nebraska State Travel Counselors Program. The 2016 season will run from May 16th through September 9th. We will have 14 visitor information centers that will be staffed from Omaha all the way to Kimball along the Interstate 80. And job descriptions will come out in mid-March at the Nebraska State Personnel Office website. New potential travel counselors will need to take a certification exam. We do these certification exams every year to make sure that the counselors are trained and know their Nebraska history and their Nebraska tourism facts and can answer people's questions knowledgeably. So that's something that is part of the interview process. So if you have anyone that's going to be applying, make sure they do understand that there is a test. It's not too hard. We probably all should take it at some point and make sure we could all pass it. But it's a great way to help train them for their jobs. So notice will come out on NebTour again about that in the next few months for more information. And again, you can watch for those postings on Nebraska State Personnel Office website. And if you have questions on that program is run by Michael Collins in our office, and there's his email address. Okay, you've heard us talk many times about the Nebraska Nice Destination Radio show, so I won't spend too much time on it. I just wanted to give you an updated list of the shows that have been going on recently. Lots of good things going on out there, and we're trying to do everything we can to get everybody on the radio show and telling their story. I do want to make a note that in case you were uncertain about the channel and the time, because there was a little bit of confusion about that, because we did SiriusXM realigned their channels, and the Nebraska Nice radio show now airs on Destination Radio every Saturday at 11 a.m. Central Time on SiriusXM Satellite Radio Channel 147. It used to be on Channel 80, it's now on Channel 147 at 11 a.m. Central Time. All right, next up, the Agro-Ecotourism Workshop. It's definitely time to start getting registered for that event, where it's less than a month away now. It will be Monday, February 22nd through Wednesday, February 24th in Grand Island, Nebraska. Mondays we'll start with business-to-business tours of some of the area agro-eco businesses, and those are going to be really fascinating. I highly recommend that if you can get to those, make sure you get out there early on Monday so that you can attend those. They'll be really educational and interesting, I think. Tuesday, the workshop sessions will start at the Raising Nebraska building, and the picture there on the right is a little picture of that building. If you haven't been there, it's really phenomenal. There's some great educational displays, lots of neat stuff to look at while you're there also for the sessions. And that is on the State Fairgrounds in Grand Island. And then Wednesday, we'll have more learning and sessions continue down at the Downtown Grand Theater in Grand Island. The 2016 workshop will provide community leaders, small business owners, landowners, farmers, and ranchers with information on how to establish, finance, market, and grow their agro-ecotourism businesses. So it's a great place for anyone who's already in that industry to come and learn more, or anyone who's thinking about getting in that industry to come and learn more. I also recommend it highly for anyone who is involved in chamber work or small business development in your communities. It's a great place for them to come and learn more about the industry and the opportunities that are within it. So just to remind you, to get more information or to register, get the schedule, you can go to our website. There's the address right there. It's the industry page on our website. Registration is open now, and room blocks have been extended to February 8th. So make sure you get that booked as soon as you can. We are also still looking for workshop sponsors for this event. Here's the different levels. There's platinum, gold, and silver. And what you receive for those sponsorships, we always appreciate your support. It's a great opportunity to talk to people in the industry about your business and see what you can do to help them and help each other in partnerships. If you have any questions about the sponsorships or want to be a sponsor, please contact Karen Colliers or Alex Duryea in our office, and their contact information is right there. National Western Stock Show. And like I said, this event just finished up, and it ran from January 9th to the 24th. We had a great turnout this year. It was the second highest overall attendance for the stock show history at 686,745 visitors. So there was a great turnout. You can see in the pictures there some examples of our advertising that was at the event. We have advertising in the arena during the rodeos. We also have a booth that thousands of people come and pick up visitors guide. They take their picture in the tank, share it on social media. It's a great event, and we want to say thank you to all of the industry volunteers who help support and work that show, because it is a very long show, and we definitely appreciate all your help. 2016 media tours. Just wanted to share the dates for these again. We've shared them several times, but I just like to keep people informed of when the next tours are going to be and what they're going to be focused on. The Central Nebraska Birding Tour that's focused on agro-ecotourism and the crane migration is going to be happening again March 20th through 25th. And the May 10th through 14th media tour is going to be focused on southeastern Nebraska, Lincoln, Beatrice, Brownville areas. We'll be talking about agro-eco tourism, culinary and heritage and cultural tourism for those tours. This is also a result of those media tours. For some of you who aren't aware, there's regularly articles that are put out as a result of these media tours, and we do send those via email to all the people that are involved in each of the media tours, so the sponsors of the tours and the businesses that are involved in each of those, so they can see the results. And as far as everyone else, if you ever want to see what has been published lately about Nebraska in the national press, you can go to our website and scroll down at the bottom, and there's a link that says press, and you can see all the articles that have been published about Nebraska there, and they'll tell you the publication and a little more information about the background of and viewership or readership of that certain publication. So I just wanted to let everyone know that we just had a new article come out that was a result of the June 2015 Western Nebraska Media Tour that got picked up by the Wire Service, and so far it's been in 16 major publications, including the Chicago Tribune, the Charlotte Observer, the Kansas City Star, and many, many more. If you would like to see those articles again, you can go to our website and see them there, and you can see all the other articles. But you can also if you want to simply do a Google search for Western Nebraska as a Land Full of Surprises, which is the title of the article, it will pop up all those different publications that have printed that article. And it's a great article with some great pictures. Actually, I was told today that the Chicago Tribune liked the article so much that they went back to the author and asked for more of her pictures to add to their online story. The Scenic Byways program, I just wanted to remind everyone that there are 9 state scenic byways across the state, covering more than 1,800 miles of highway. All the byways are listed there with their website addresses, and we just wanted to let you know that if you're involved in any of those groups and you would like to have an NTC staff member come attend your meeting, please contact Kathy McKillop or Heather Hogue and make that request. If you can give us a little notice, that's always helpful so that we can assign somebody to come to that meeting. We definitely want to be available to all of you as you do your planning for your byway meetings and help you promote the byway and the businesses along that. So feel free to let us know if you would like us to attend and do any kind of presentation or just to come listen and support you. So let us know if you would like us to help out. I want to talk a little bit about mink, and if you haven't heard of MINC, MINC is a grassroots regional economic development group that represents basically the corners of Missouri, Iowa, Nebraska, and Kansas, where they all meet. The service area is 2 county distance on either side of all those boundaries, so it's kind of a little circle right on the corner of all those states. And anyone interested in enhancing economic development in those areas or expanding growth opportunities and creating vibrant communities along that Missouri River corridor is invited to attend those meetings. If you have any questions about this group or want to learn more about MINC, we ask that you contact Michael Collins at the Tourism Commission. Michael goes to those meetings regularly. The next meeting will be held in March in Missouri. The exact location is to be determined yet, but Michael can get you that information if you're interested in attending. The Nebraska Tourism Commission's 3T program is the next thing we're going to talk about. Many of you may remember this group from a year or so ago when they took a spring break trip across Nebraska and blogged about it and did social media about it. It's a group of students from the UNL Hospitality and Tourism Management program that we meet with regularly. We use them to kind of do market research about millennials and get their opinions and ideas on how to market to college students, what's appealing to them, what's not appealing to them, what some new trends are, those types of things. And they do a great job helping us in those meetings. And we also try to coordinate a trip for them throughout Nebraska that they can blog about and share on social media and get a little bit better taste of what the whole state of Nebraska has to offer that they can share then with their social media circles. So if you have anyone who's in the UNL Student Hospitality Restaurant Tourism Management program and they would want to consider applying for the group, please have them contact us and we can see about getting them added to that group. Trail and bicycle tourism, this is our next topic here. And Alex Duryea is the person in our office who is responsible for this. He is an avid bicyclist and outdoorsman, hunter. He loves to be outside and this is his bread and butter. So he is in charge of helping us both help promote and coordinate some events that are statewide to enhance and promote bicycle tourism and the trails. And then also just to help share information about existing events that are already out there that people can participate in. So the list here, there's a couple events coming up on the Cowboy Trail. There's going to be a Cowboy Ultra Marathon on June 12th, and that is in cooperation with Angry Cow Adventures. That will be a really interesting event. There's the Norfolk Nacho Ride every Tuesday night, May through October, where they ride from the park in Norfolk to Goody's Grill in Battle Creek for tacos. That's kind of a similar event to ones that have been going in the Lincoln and Omaha area for a while, and they're trying to recreate that type of group event and ride up in Norfolk. And I think it's a great use of the Cowboy Trail, and it'll be really fun for the people there. So look for more news on that one. The Tour de Nebraska and the Brand Ride, those are some rides that go on in Nebraska where big groups of people get together and ride for days and they camp along the way. And those are some really fun events. If you're interested in learning more about those, Alex can tell you all that. And then National Trails Day is June 4th. Nebraska Tourism and Game and Parks are collaborating on a special event for that, so stay tuned. Nebraska Bike Travel Weekend is June 3rd through 5th, so we're going to be encouraging people to get out and ride to their favorite destination on those days. And Bike Your Park is September 24th, 2016, and that's where we'll be encouraging people to explore the state and national parks and other public lands on bicycle. So again, if you have questions about bicycle tourism, you want to get something like this started in your area, you have ideas for how to promote bicycle tourism in your area, please contact Alex. He is the person to talk to, and he will get anyone else in the office involved that needs to be, but I would start with him. upcoming webinars. Okay, so we just sent this list out via NebTour, but here it is again. This is the list of our other upcoming webinars this year and the topics that we'll be discussing. The next one will be February 1st, and that's National Parks 100th celebration will be the topic. The 100-year celebration is going to be a big event, and we want to share some news with you on what's going on with that in Nebraska. And also, she'll share a little bit of national news that our rep that will be coming from the National Parks Association. All right, that's all we have for today. Jen, do we have any questions out there?
Yes, we do have some questions. First question is pretty basic. I somehow am not getting the NebTour emails anymore. How can I get added to the listserv again?
Okay. Yeah, if you're not getting the NebTour emails for some reason, contact Heather Hogue. Just send her an email. Or Jen, you can also forward that email probably to and copy Heather on it. And she will double check maybe why you're not getting the emails and make sure that you're added onto the list.
All right. A few about Tourism Cares.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of projects were picked for Tourism Cares? Is it just anything that can be fixed? And where are those applications again?
The applications are on the industry page of our website, and I'll go back to that here just a second. So you can see that link. Did I go past it? No, there we go. Okay, so here's the link down at the bottom of where that information is available on our website. There was a selection committee. There was multiple applications that came in for this program. The selection committee got together and chose the 2 first recipient projects. I was not on that particular committee, so I do not know the ins and outs of exactly how those were chose or what reasons those were picked maybe over another project. But I'm sure if you have questions on that, if you contact Amanda Barker, who's on that slide there, also her contact information is there, that she can give you some more information on that and give you some guidance on what might make a good project or not.
Okay, and travel counselors, is there an age restriction for travel counselors? Can high school students apply?
Yes, as far as I know, there's no age restriction. I mean, I'm assuming obviously they have to be old enough to get a paycheck from the state, which I'm guessing is probably 15 or 16. I'm not totally sure. I'm sure it would say on the program, but yes, I mean, there's no age restrictions. We have a wide variety of all ages of people that apply to be travel counselors and are chosen to be travel counselors. So.
Agro-ecotourism workshop. Are there any scholarships for the workshop, and is that something we should check with our area tourism directors about?
Some communities do offer scholarships for that program, so I would check with your local CVB or chamber and see if they're offering any kind of scholarships. And if they're not, maybe you can encourage them to do so. Sometimes those organizations have some funds set aside that they can share with the community for events like that.
We have a question from St. Paul. Is there a mobile app for the travel guide?
There is not a mobile app for the travel guide. The digital version is mobile friendly though. It's not a separate app, it's just mobile friendly.
Do 3T members have to be UNL students? I know some kids in our area that might be interested.
Traditionally, they have all been UNL students, and most of them have come from the UNL hospitality program because we have a relationship with that program and helped with the establishment of that program. But yes, I think we would consider other students, so I mean, feel free to share the application with them and encourage them to apply.
And a question about our Midwest Living Nebraska giveaway. They just thought it was cool and wondered if they can register to win that trip. Is it open to everyone?
Yeah, yep. Everybody can it's open registration if you want to go on their website and apply for that trip. And I'll kind of explain that trip. Midwest Living came to us and they were doing a contest of dream trips, basically, to all different locations. Some of them are just individual towns or counties. Some of them are statewide trips. So we put together a trip of, kind of some dream experiences in Nebraska. And they revolve mostly around Nebraska City, Omaha, and Lincoln areas. But it's a really cool trip. If you want to encourage people to apply, or if you want to apply yourself, definitely go try to win it, or share it with your friends and have them try to win it.
And if somebody needs a link to enter to win that, they can email me and I can get it sent out.
Yep, if you need a link to find that, you can ask Jen and she can get it too, or just search, probably if you search Midwest Living Dream Trip giveaway, you probably would get it too.
A comment from Nebraska City. It was great having Kathy McKillop speak at our annual banquet last weekend. So much is happening in tourism in our state. Doing a great job. We look forward to working with you all. And what is it like to be a part of this industry right now? Any advice for any of those wanting to help out or make a difference in tourism?
Yeah, that's a great question. Kathy regularly goes around and speaks at, or is invited to and speaks at some of those events around the state. She was at Nebraska City at the tourism banquet recently, and I know that was a great opportunity. We always love to come speak at those types of events, or just come visit and experience and learn about what's going on in your community. So feel free to let us know if you ever want us to come to one of those, and we will do our best to either Kathy or someone from the commission to get there. And as far as Nebraska City, they're doing some really exciting, fun things, and I know I'm actually going to be down there tomorrow on some strategic planning that they're going to be doing, and excited to see what they have going on there. As far as what's going on in the industry, I think there's just amazing things going on all over the state, all kinds of new products being created. People are doing a great job of trying to keep up with the changes in technology and share their story online and get the word out about their locations. So always some really interesting things happening out there. And if you want to see what some of those things are, we have Facebook page and Twitter page where we share a lot of those fun, exciting new things that are going on in the industry. But as far as getting involved in the industry, I think a good place to start is always at your local CVB, or which is your Convention and Visitors Bureau, or your Chamber of Commerce. You can volunteer at those organizations and try to get involved. I know a lot of times attractions have boards that are always looking for volunteers to help with projects at their facility, so that's another great way to get involved locally. And I think attending our conferences is another way to get involved and see what's going on. If you're kind of new to the industry and you want to get into some of the groups that are promoting different regions or different activities and events around the state, coming to our conference is a great way to network and get involved.
Can I submit ideas for future webinars? If so, to who?
Yes, we are always looking for ideas for future webinars, and you can send those to Jen or myself. We usually line up the content for those. We also, along the same lines, we're always looking for ideas for the Nebraska Nice radio show. So if you have something that you want to see promoted on that radio show, let us know, and we will do our best to help share that or get that on the air as much as possible.
A question about the media tours. I'd love to host the journalists visiting Nebraska on the media tour, sharing the unique experience at our attraction. Who should I talk to about that?
Yeah, if you're wanting to be involved in a media tour, you want to contact myself, so angela.white@nebraska.gov, and I will share that information with the people who plan those media tours. Unfortunately, we can't go to every location always, and there's certain parameters and tracks that we're doing, so unfortunately we can't get everybody on those tours. I wish we could, but we will definitely take your location into consideration, and we love to have people who volunteer to host.
And a question from Broken Bow. Can you tell us more about that movie and the Museum of the Fur Trade?
Yes, if you haven't heard, there's a new movie out right now, which I believe is called The Revenant. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, The Revenant, and it's up for quite a few Oscars. I think it's up for the most Oscars of any movie this year. And the Nebraska Fur Trade Museum was actually contacted and consulted with about the costumes for that event, because obviously a lot of the costumes at that time were fur-based, and they helped consult on the design of some of those costumes and the historical accuracy of those costumes. So as a result of that, the director then sent back one of the costumes from the movie to the Fur Trade Museum, which is now on display there. So great reason to go check out the Fur Trade Museum again if you've been there already, so you can see that costume, or if you haven't been there at all, it's a great reason to go. So that'll be fun as the Oscars come up and we can do some more promotion and make people aware of that museum.
Angela, do you know if they're still taking registration for the polar bear tank races?
They are still taking registration for the polar bear tank races, and as a matter of fact, we have a couple teams from our office that will be going and participating this year. So they will get to experience tanking in the winter. Unfortunately, I can't go, but I've been tanking up there, and it's really fun. So I'm sure they will have a great time. But yeah, they're still taking applications or taking entries for that event.
Okay, this is my last question,
All
unless I
right.
get one more to the email on
One
the
more
board.
question. Wow, we have a lot of questions today. That's great.
The passport program is great. How do you encourage businesses and stops to apply and participate? And I heard rumors of a fall or winter passport program. Is that true?
Ooh, yes. The passport. Tell me the first part of the question again.
How do you encourage businesses and stops to apply?
Oh, yes. I think the biggest hurdle for people with the passport program who are thinking about applying is they just don't understand. Maybe they've never been on the program themselves, and they just don't understand how valuable it is and how many people it brings in the door. And they worry maybe whether they have enough staff or whether they're open enough hours. So I think the biggest thing is to have them, just to educate them first on what the program is and how valuable it is to their business. Maybe have them talk to someone else in your area who's participated in the program before to answer their questions. There is a $100 fee. That's just to make the customized stamp for the program, which sometimes I think makes people a little nervous, but the good thing is you don't have to pay the $100 fee up front with your application. You only have to pay the $100 fee if you are chosen. And I can guarantee you if you're chosen, you will earn your $100 back tenfold and many more with all the new people that it brings into your facility. So we consistently have rave reviews from the passport stops on their experiences. Many of them oftentimes have to hire more help or grow their business in order to keep up with all the extra demand that they get from passport season. As far as your question about a rumor about a fall passport program, yes, I can confirm that that is something that's being considered. I do not have any details yet on that program. I think it'd be really fun. I think all the diehard fans of the program would really love an excuse to do it in the winter also. And it would help promote some kind of maybe some different and more unique attractions that are off the beaten path and inside probably, or some of them might be outside. But so yeah, that's something that we are considering. So if you have questions on that, you can talk to Amanda Barker.
Oh, one more question from Omaha.
one more. Okay.
Oh, just a comment.
Okay.
Just wanted to say we love the travel guide and can't wait to do the passport program again.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so we had a comment saying that they love the travel guide, and of course we love to hear positive comments anytime we can get them, and negative. If you have constructive criticism, we're always open to hearing that. So please feel free to reach out to anyone on staff anytime with your comments, and we try to take them all in and do what we can to respond and make everybody happy. So thank you. All right, thanks everybody. Hope you join us for the next webinar.